Hello everyone, Republic Jim here. I'm out at one of my nettle patches, just getting ready to harvest some leaves to saute up and mix in with some eggs. This is actually kind of my secondary patch. It's a little further from the house than my regular one, but it gets more sunlight, so the leaves are maturing more quickly. I wanted to harvest some here before they get too big. You can see that these ones around the outer part are already getting kind of big. They're not as tender and tasty as the smaller ones, but there's a bunch further in there that are better for that. But while I was out here, I wanted to just discuss kind of what's been happening with me lately and why I haven't been posting too much in the way of workout videos. So I mentioned in a previous video that I'd had a couple of growths removed from my back, and then that was several weeks ago, but then more recently, just right out a week ago, I had a cyst removed from my back. That one was on my low back and was right near my spine. It wasn't causing any problems, but it was slowly getting bigger, and we were kind of concerned about it potentially putting pressure on my spine, and also it was starting to turn colors apparently, and there was some concern about whether it could become cancerous. So had that removed, and they're sending it off to the lab to get it tested and make sure on that. But currently I have stitches in my low back, just kind of right down in there, so I have to be careful about bending and twisting. So I guess, according to my wife, I've broken a couple of the stitches already, but the others are holding, and the skin is healing up. And I have a couple more days to go before I get the stitches removed. Yeah, these ones in here are definitely a little tastier looking. Anyway, so yeah, a couple days I'll go and get those removed, and then at that point I'll still have to take it easy and not put too much pressure on the incision there. I don't want to tear anything open again. I need to allow it some time to heal up. Oh, man, these things have some bite to them. I'm really feeling it on my shins and on the underside of my feet where I've been stepping on them. But one of the other things that I do with the nettle patch is what's known as urtication, as you can see from the title, and that is a old traditional way of dealing with muscle pain and arthritis and stuff, and it's this thing of just deliberately getting nettle stings, which sounds counterintuitive, but you get a prickly sensation. Once you're used to it, it's really not that bad. But then it really helps with the overall muscle soreness. And I mean, that's like a old folk remedy that has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Kind of, falling out of popularity now because, of course, everybody takes medications for everything instead of using any sort of natural remedy. But what's cool about it is I found it also acts as a sort of an antihistamine. So when I do that, it helps reduce the symptoms of my hay fever and decongest me a little bit. So, you know, it has some real benefits there. Takes a little bit at first to get over the natural reluctance to do something like that, but once you do, find that you know, there's some temporary discomfort, but there's definitely some longer term benefits. And part of it is just the benefit of, you know, developing the mindset to be able to do things that are temporarily uncomfortable, because so much of life these days, people are trying to do everything to avoid discomfort and, you know, make everything easier. And there's actually some real benefits to being able to do things that are uncomfortable, as I've talked about in previous videos. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I can't really do any serious workout videos because I'm pretty limited on movement with the stitches and recovery. I have gotten to where I'm doing some light squats, primarily using dumbbells instead of a barbell, and, you know, wall sits and some isolation exercises for my upper body, just like curls and lateral raises and such. But it'll be a little while before I get back to doing any real intense heavy lifting or anything, or odd object carries and such. So that's the reason that I haven't been posting any of those lately. And then as far as going out doing campouts or hiking around the property, I'm likewise kind of limited there because I really can't put on a big pack right now. Hopefully this coming week, after the stitches are out, I'll be able to start using a lighter pack and get out and about a bit, because I've missed, especially with this warm sunny weather, you know, I've really missed getting out and just hiking around, getting into nature. So there should be more of that incoming, but yeah, right now it's definitely kind of on hold. So yeah, I'm just gonna do what I can to improve my physical well-being and enjoy what little I can at the moment outdoors. And I'm gonna stop talking and finish picking these so I can go in and saute some of them, and looking forward to having a nice, healthy, fresh growing, organic treat there. So anyhow, that's about all that's happening at the moment. This has been Republic Jim. I'll talk to you later.